What up there, football freaks and fish people? The crew is here. We got Chattanooga Ed and Skipper and myself, of course, Kenny E, here for another Friday Night Lights, which we will be going before the next year will be the ASN, baby. Be looking for
Whoa.
it. Be looking for it. And that's our little inside aquatic sports
Hey, I like that
network.
shirt.
You like it? I wore it just for you, Ed.
Oh, I wore this just for Shanna. Not you.
And I'm rocking my cool hat that Miss Dee Dee Fish Den sent me. I got this in the mail today.
Oh,
That's
wow.
cool.
How awesome is that? I mean, it's
Actually,
her
I'm-
birthday week and she's sending me gifts. What's up with that?
Well, she is an amazing girl.
Should we sing her happy birthday?
All right.
You got your best tune ready there, Skip?
Yeah.
Happy.
A 1, a 2, and a 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Dee Dee. Happy birthday,
Birthday
to
to you.
you.
And you.
Okay, guys, we've established we're not giving up our day jobs to become singers of any
No.
sort. So first in the night was Mike's Aquatic and Things. What's going on, Mike? Then followed closely by Miss Adele from Collaboration of Curiosities. Good to see you, girl. Jimmy P in the house. Maria Z coming in, throwing money. Thank you so much, Maria. Much love to you, sister. Who else we got up in here? We got Dennis Christensen in here. Patty's Petite Tanks is here. Tampa Tom. Dr. Fish. What's up, Dr.
Tampa.
Fish? Depths Unknown in the house. What's going on, Depths? Uh-oh, now we're in trouble. Chris the Mad Aquarist. He
Oh,
must be bored to be here on a
Uh-oh.
Friday night. Says, sup, beautiful fish peeps. Love to Danny. They always come in saying love to Danny, even when she's not on these streams, man.
No, well,
Megan Gorski, welcome.
It is your better half.
Steady Nona, what's going on?
By far.
She is the better half of Daniken, trust me. TJ, what's going on? All right. Kimberly Holtz, John Magner, welcome. All right. So what have
Okay,
you boys
Kenny.
been up to this week?
Well,
Mm.
we're discussing something very important.
Uh-oh.
This discussion came up last night during my stream, and we need to carry it over since Tampa Tom's here, and I wanted to thank him for shouting out, because he agrees with me. What is your dipping choice for hot wings?
We're doing this again.
Well, it's important because we didn't hear what Kenny said.
Well, I'm going to disappoint you, Ed, because any wings, any kind of chicken, anything, I put nothing on it. I eat just the natural, all natural, baby.
Yeah, but if you had to choose,
Wow.
would it be ranch or blue cheese?
Neither.
He's,
Just plain
So
old
boring.
barbecue sauce, man.
wow.
You're
It's
talking
steak,
to a guy,
well.
Ed. I mean, to me,
It's like
spice is butter, man. That's my spice go-to
So,
spice is
and it-
butter.
well,
it's
it's
it-
still.
the wind has been blown out of my sail.
So
What
it's-
did you
it
What did you
stays
think I
dry.
would say, Ed?
I was hoping you'd pick my side and say ranch.
Well, I will say Danny goes for the ranch every time.
Well, okay.
Well,
your
and
better
she's the
half-
better half.
So guess
Danny
who wins
likes
now?
her ranch on just about everything. Mr. Peplin Creek Aquatics, welcome.
Tampa Tom
See,
says
Tampa Tom
ranch.
with the ranch. That's what I was saying, man. He was on my side at the very end.
Uh-oh, Chris must be getting
I
some
reread it.
nasty weather snow-wise again. He says he's stranded in a hotel, highway closed, so I couldn't get home.
Oh no.
They had
terrible.
snow squalls up there today.
Hey, what?
Holy
They had snow squalls in Canada today.
Hmm.
it's 30 degrees here.
It's
That's-
10 degrees here.
If there was school going on tomorrow, it'd be closed. They close school at 33 degrees here.
Oh,
Really?
really?
Kids don't have winter jackets, so they don't want them waiting out for buses and stuff. Isn't that weird?
Well,
But it's been in like the high 50s all week long. And then we got this weird cold snap coming in tonight.
it came from Canada.
Well, fortunately in Oregon, it's getting back to normal Oregon weather.
Yeah.
I'd
50
love
by
to
day, 40s by night. That's kind of my Oregon weather, man.
It's 10 degrees here right now.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. I've got some fish I need to ship to the Midwest and to the East Coast, and I'm not doing it until I start seeing some little
Yeah.
nicer weather. I just don't want to. They're very high dollar fish, and I'm not gonna. I don't want them dying in transport. So,
Yeah.
what's up, Amateur Aquatics? Good to see you. Who else we got up in here? Somebody else snuck in too. I saw. Sky Dancer,
another-
welcome.
Dr. Anthony's going to play fantasy football with us next year.
Yep.
So that's 2 more people that have committed. So that's pretty awesome. So should we break? Oh, wait. Where's Austin?
Doesn't he work?
I don't know. He's been here the last couple of weeks to make his picks. Well,
Oh my goodness.
should we? Last week, Ed, who's me, what's it say?
Oh,
That's what
weird.
Big said he was looking at on his trip today. That's why he had to stop and hit a hotel. Look at that snow
I just-
coming across the highway.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the snow
man.
squalls. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Wow.
No thanks, Chris. Makes me glad I live where I live, brother. Only time I see snows like that is if I go up to the mountain to see it.
You know, I miss snow. You know, I grew up playing hockey and having fun outside, and now
Yeah.
it's just so weird.
I
It's
grew
so
up on
weird
the
living in the
Illinois-Wisconsin border. I mean, I'm used to ice and snow,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna tell you, I've been here since 1998, so my blood is pretty thin now.
It's happening
The
to
Mad
me, too.
Aquarius Ed wants to know how he can order one of your shirts.
I got to figure that out still. I bring him to all the events, but I think I'm going to try to set up a Get Gills page, and I just haven't figured it out yet. So I need to do that. And then I'll definitely do that for you, man, because that'd be freaking awesome. But should we go through the picks for this week? See how we all did?
Oh, you're doing rub it in again. Yes, I had a rough week again. Both of my teams
Well,
lost.
Let's see. Kenny picked the 49ers to win 17-10. What was that score? I don't know what the score was, but
35 to
Cincinnati-
like 7.
Yeah, it was bad.
Billy won.
I
Oh,
think it
but
was like
Austin picked that
35-10.
too. So
But in my defense, I mean, their starting quarterback went down in the first quarter.
Well,
yeah,
that's
but
just
the guys-
because he was weak though when he got hit.
Johnson wasn't exactly, who was expecting to be running the show. I mean, and then he
he
went
went
down.
back in.
Then
He went back in.
Purdy went back in
So,
with a broken
what's the excuse?
elbow. He couldn't throw, man. He had a busted
that was-
elbow. He had to go back in because the other guy got knocked out. And they didn't have a
shoulda-
third quarterback on the roster other than McCaffrey.
They almost
That's
went
why I
there,
didn't pick him.
But
Okay, so
I just lost what I was going to say. Go ahead.
well,
Hold on, I
Skipper
gotta-
picked Philly.
Mm-hmm.
So Skipper gets a point. Austin picked the 49ers, and I picked Philly. So I get a point. So now it's Ed, 9 points. Austin, 8 points. Kenny with 5 points
Patty
and
comes
Skipper-
in saying
with 9.
she did her 22 months as a member. She's been of Danica Clark. She says, Eagles win, gonna get clipped.
I don't even know what that means.
I think she's basically saying to you, Ed, you're going to get clipped. Your Chiefs are going to get whacked by her Eagles next Sunday is what she's saying. She's calling you out.
Well,
I don't think it's going to happen. Mike, do I have that upside down? Darn it, I do. Because my Chiefs are awesome. Look it. That is awesome. If you go to that stadium, all you smell is barbecue. It's amazing. If you go to the one in New York City, I've been to the Giants Stadium. All you smell there is like rotten eggs.
Dang.
Yeah, because it's the Meadowlands. Just saying. Poor Patty.
So,
But
you and I are tied.
yes, but let's do the Chiefs game. Okay, I picked the Chiefs to win, so I get a point. Austin picked the Chiefs to win, so he gets a point. So now you're tied with Austin. Kenny picked Cincinnati. Boy, that was a mistake.
Who did I
And then
pick?
Skipper took Cincinnati.
I did.
Oh man. So
Ed just wanted to rub it in one more time. That's all he wanted. You know, Ed, always going to be nice and root for him. Now I'm going Philadelphia. The hell with you.
okay. Well, that's probably a good thing for me. So I'm going to take that as a thank you. Kenny takes Philly. Who are you taking, Skip?
Well, I gotta stick with Philly on this one, brother.
Oh man.
I
And then I am going to say the Chiefs, of course. And so we'll still see what Austin picks at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm going with Philly because I'm telling you that hurts, man. Oh man, you guys are gonna have your work cut out. It ain't gonna be like the Bengals game where you pretty much didn't have to do nothing.
Yep.
I was so disgusted when I seen it. I was like, oh, and then I had to leave for a call.
I know one thing. If I had a bum ankle, I don't think I'd want the chance of meeting Sue or Joseph landing on me with a bum ankle. That's just me, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Difference between winners and losers.
Oh!
There's no
Jimmy-
stopping Mahomes.
Jimmy P says the Eagles by 13.
Dang.
I wish I would have wrote down what Jimmy P said last week. I know that Jimmy P said that Kelsey ain't nothing because anybody can get 60 yards a game for 7 straight years, which actually hasn't happened. Only Kelsey's done that. So something to think about. Kelsey is the stud. He's just amazing. It was a great game. Go Chiefs.
But outside Kelsey, who does he got to throw at?
Who knows at this point? I couldn't believe it. They lost their top 4 receivers in the first quarter of that game.
Oh,
That's
hold up.
bizarre.
Dee birthday girl Dee Dee's in the house.
Oh, Dee Dee, you
Oh.
came in. You missed us singing happy birthday to you. You have to watch the replay. We did it.
Yeah.
Sweet Dee Dee.
And I'm wearing me
Yeah.
hat. We made sure to shout you out over this beautiful hat you sent me.
That is a nice hat.
Oh my gosh, I got 2 pairs of glasses on my head.
Although, I'm sorry, Dee Dee. If I'm going to wear it, I have to wear it like a Marine would. Hold on. I got to get my 2 fingers. There we go.
Dee Dee deserves to be the only
Now I
hand.
look like a jarhead in it.
Yep. I was reading a story about a bunch of Navy guys, and it gave them confidence that there was 40 Marines on board. I thought of you, Kenny.
I will leave that one alone.
Oh, well, I thought I was finally giving him a compliment.
Oh no, I could go so much with that compliment, like the jokes and stuff that were us military people
Used to
do
be-
each other. You know what I mean?
Well,
Everybody used to say you were Department of the Navy, and I always had to explain to them, you're absolutely right. Everything needs a men's department. That's why we were there.
And all it took was to try to color in between the lines to get there.
Mhm. Coloring, we don't know what coloring's about. Shit.
Oh man. The Marines went in for their ASVAB test. They handed them a coloring book.
No, Marines test is basically we pull out the weapon, and in order to get in, you got to get 10 for 10 right in the bullseye. Bam, that's just to get to just being able to be head into boot camp.
Talking about shooting things, did you guys hear about this big ass balloon floating over the United States?
Yeah, it's China's. They're spying on us.
What? Why? I don't know. This isn't sports related, but maybe snipers are part of sports. Why?
So they were.
They said they have control where they can drive it wherever they want. They showed how so how to get out of course.
What they were thinking about shooting it down, but they were worried about all the debris
and not knowing what's in it.
Yeah,
could be another biological weapon. We don't need another case of COVID-like symptoms being dropped in America.
Yeah.
So
right, but what if they're aiming for St. Louis or Atlanta or somewhere, or some bigger metropolitan area?
I don't know why our government is doing nothing either, but kind of got to look at who's in charge and just kind of fill in the blanks from there.
And I was trying to think of a way that they could have grabbed a hold of that and towed it with a cargo plane, but the height that it's at, it's right below where you don't need a spaceship, but it's flying higher than a commercial jet does. So it's in between, the satellite and you know what I mean? And I was like, that don't make no sense. You can't the fighter jets, they got them to where they get the oxygen and stuff whenever they're up, or why couldn't you just do something like that with a cargo plane and go up there and get that damn thing and move it?
Well, the problem is a cargo plane would probably crash from the pressure.
And that's what I was trying to.
And they couldn't get anybody to fly up there because the human brain doesn't do too well when it's being compressed from the outside. I mean, it's.
Maybe we should ask Elon Musk to get it. He's got a spaceship.
What's up, Sickless? What's up, Kurt?
Get a hold of
Sickless 23. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, that whole thing I just found out about that like a half hour ago.
Jennifer Weaver.
My mom originally said it was 5,000 feet above ground. And I was like, why don't we just shoot it with a 30-06 or something?
It's higher.
But I think it's 45,000 feet.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous.
That's just crazy.
Nathan had to head out. Good to see you, Nathan. He told us that. Go Edge Chief. Would you pay this amateur aquatic addiction or what?
Thank you,
AAA, you're awesome. AAA. Bam, right there. Actually, it'd probably be like this. AAA. Because all those are A's. Triple. That's his symbol. AAA. That's it right now.
That's funny. Did you read Jimmy P's comment?
So Chris says, okay, then next July, he says, be up at the ACA Catfish Convention and make it happen then, Ed.
He might. I don't know. We'll try.
That means I've been friends with that a long time. That means he's not going.
Probably not. Well, I'm doing the Clash, the Aquashellas. I've just committed to the what was that one?
I'm offended.
Aqua Expo. The Aqua Expo.
I am so offended. You have yet to be to Fishtoberfest and you're going to the Clash?
What? The Clash is so much closer. So much closer.
True.
And this Aquafest is only 4 hours from me because it's in Charlotte. So
now you're trying to reason with me. I decided I wanted to see my buddy Ed, and I just hopped in the car and I drove there and saw you.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
You can't argue with me, buddy, because I did the drive. I've seen it. I've got the T-shirt.
You
And-
can't beat that one.
I was trying to get, because Degenerate and I and Skipper were going to do a cross the country trip. And this guy changed his mind last night and said he'd rather go to Piaba. Or not to Piaba, to
Peru.
Peru.
I'd
And
still
see
do.
you.
I'd still do the trip.
Okay, cool. Ooh, could you get us a fire truck to go in? That would be really cool.
There's a mental picture I just can't wait to see.
See,
We've never got to drive in a fire truck.
See me driving the truck and Ed working the sirens and stuff. Oh
You'd
my
be
God,
in trouble, I think, with that.
We'd end up in
Not
jail.
to mention, he'd come back and he'd have Chiefs paraphernalia all over it. And
Well, it'll match.
They're
the
already
truck.
red. They're already red.
It'll match the truck.
Do they let you stand on the ladders on the back?
No, not anymore.
Oh, I'd like to do that.
Yeah,
I'm not joking. Back when I was in elementary school, the fire trucks would go by the elementary school and we were all at recess. We'd all run and cheer as they go by. And the fire truck went by and they forgot to untie their Dalmatian and they were dragging it down the road.
Oh,
So all of us
Shut
kids were
up.
cheering and then we were all screaming.
oh my God,
It happened.
oh my gosh.
that's too much, man.
I don't think we realized though that the dog was actually dead. We were like, oh look, the dog's like following behind. Just
TD, she says, I just went back and listened to the song. Thanks for the effort.
She was laughing her ass off too. I guarantee it.
oh my God.
Oh, man.
and did you see how we all said happy birthday to her on Roxanne's channel?
Yes.
It was really cool.
They
I think
dropped
we all
another
almost
video.
got it in on time.
My video, 'cause I was sick pretty much this whole week. And I got it over to her, but it was like a little too late. But she made another video where she showed everybody that had sent them in because Steven and them were late with theirs too, I guess.
Well, Rico helped me do mine. I don't know how you stream and videotape at the same time and send it, but he did it, and it was like, wow, that was really cool. I hope everything's okay at the Daniken house.
Where'd he go? I was
Oh,
looking
no,
at
he just jumped up and ran off.
Oh, he's
So-
back.
Oh, he's back. Maybe he had to let the dog in.
Was having a hankering for some. Mm-mm-mm. Love gummies, man. Little gummy bears.
Oh.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh yeah.
Gummy bears are the best.
especially when they're soaked in vodka.
I haven't tried that.
It's
It might
good.
get sticky. I don't know.
No, actually. So one of the party favors at our reception was I soaked gummy bears in vodka. They expand a little bit, but they don't like get slimy. Don't do Swedish fish because the Swedish fish they were slimy. Gummy bears
Gotcha.
hold up better. The color guppies is here. I see.
What up, Vinay?
that's
Good to
awesome.
see you, man.
Solar Guppy's super cool dude.
Oh yeah, speaking of that PNW, he will be on my stream on Sunday.
BMW?
PNW.
Wow. I was trying to find his trophy and I can't find. Oh, I just found them. They're under the desk. They haven't completely cured, but I don't know. I may end up redoing his again because look, the layers, you can see the layers.
You
I
can't
don't
see
know if
it
I
from-
like that.
Yeah.
I think Ryan would like it either way. But Ryan, you notice the general area your trophy came from out. Yeah, I think he's telling you, yeah, here's your trophy, baby. Grinded it all day for you.
And look at, well, no, I have it on. I've got a desk, like an art desk, and it's got a shelf underneath that I can keep stuff where the cat's not
Here's
gonna
your
sit on.
trophy, baby.
There's June's. June's didn't have any of the layering because what I did was I
Oh.
used what was left over of the old stuff, and then I had to put some new stuff in there, and it made layers. I don't know if I'm happy with that.
Ed didn't miss a beat, man. He's just still telling you how the process goes. We're not even phasing him, man.
And look, the top looks like real water.
You did
Looks
a good
like-
job on that, Ed.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, Ryan, I don't know. I think I might end up just buying a whole new one, another box of it, and doing it one more time.
Danny fired her caves. What was it? Tuesday.
What?
So she got
Nice.
done. Now I think she put them in again with that glaze color stuff or whatever they do to it to give it a little bit of color.
I was working on my craft that I'm going to do, I think in 2 weeks from now. Berkeley Bell's not here, but I'm going to ask her if she'd like to come on this Thursday night. If she doesn't, because we have a special project. If she doesn't, then I'll do this new project that I just started working on tonight. You know, I'd like to do test runs. Somehow the test runs seem to work, and then when it's on camera, it falls apart. The
Yeah, this
camera
last one,
version
though,
turns
man.
into,
I was
Turns
worried
into
you were going to
this.
start your whole place on fire. Be truthful.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Each time I mess up, that's like $15 to throw away. Stinking stuff isn't cheap. But eventually I'm going to buy it by the gallon, and I think it'll cut down the price quite a bit.
Probably.
But I need to learn what ones to use and what's the best way to use it and stuff. And I'm just experimenting right now.
Sometimes it's bad to go reading through the chat. Oh my God, man, I love her. I love me some Patty so bad.
I read that earlier and I was like, oh man.
I don't know, Ed. You seem to bring the bad out in all of them. It has to be you making all these people behave this way.
We didn't do
Look
nothing.
Even Jennifer Weaver saying that she hopes to see me at the ACLC swap.
March 25th.
What is that? The killifish?
No, ACLC is Aquarium Club of Lancaster County. They're one of the clubs that does the Keystone Clash. They have a swap March 25th at that fish place, that pet place in Lancaster.
I don't know. That's a long drive for a swap, but it would be fun to hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
So today I bought chicken wings, and I got ranch because that was my choice. But it cost $32 for 18 wings. And yesterday I bought a 16-ounce ribeye steak with a potato and salad at the Texas Roadhouse for the exact same price.
That's nuts.
Why are wings going up so much? It's crazy.
Because everybody started eating them.
Well, if you just did it,
Oh, good.
did you get the wings at a restaurant or did you make them yourself?
I got them at a restaurant.
Oh my God. PNW Aqua comes in. Blue cheese with wings and go Eagles. That might be a Raiders fan just saying.
No, I already wrote a Raiders fan down as a blue cheese guy.
Lefty's
Oh,
riding Ed's shirt tail.
Ooh, PNW spelled Chiefs wrong.
That's okay.
It-
I
Yeah,
don't mind.
the freaks here.
You know,
Ed
People
is so bad.
probably-
He bullied on Lefty till he became a Chiefs fan. You know that?
Mhm.
He bullied him
Well,
until he said, yes, I'll be
I
a
believe
Chiefs
it.
fan.
I believe it.
Just bullied him.
I believe it. Yep.
You know, it's good to pick a winner that doesn't cheat. So,
Well, Ed, that
You
was
know?
one of the topics. I was thinking we should have a moment of silence for the greatest quarterback that ever played the game, Tom Brady.
What?
all right.
No, you're full of it. No, man, it's about to get really loud in here. No,
Oh, no love
He'll
there,
probably
Ed?
He'll probably be back next year.
I don't think so. I think he's done.
I
Dude, he
hope
lost
comes
everything
back.
by going that one last year. And really, do we need to cry him the river? The guy's already signed a 10-year, $375 million contract with Fox Network.
yeah,
And
he ain't.
I looked it up. He made $140 million off of endorsements last year.
I believe.
$140 million off of endorsements, plus the $15 million he got for the football team. So, yeah, he's not in any type of bad shape at all.
No.
But what's worse is he's going on the only good, crew of guys, football crew that I like. I like Terry Bradshaw and I like Howie Long. And I like Terry Long. Wait,
Howie.
Howie Long. I like Howie Long so much. I wore 75. And he's a Raider. I respect that dude. He's awesome. But now that he's going to be on with that guy, Brady, man, I can't even watch him anymore. I'm just going to have to watch replays of the movie Broken Arrow if I want to see Howie Long.
Here comes the hate, Ed. Not a Chief or Bengals fan, but it was clear who the refs wanted to win.
I know. Well, normally it's the opposite, and the Bengals don't like not having all the calls go their way, and they got all
And
upset
Jimmy
for a
says,
second.
"Don't worry, Ed. Mahomes only has 6 more Super Bowls to win to top Brady."
Yep. That's true. And if he does half of that, he did it without cheating like Brady. Brady should have asterisk next to all of his. So they really shouldn't count. Just saying. They would do that in baseball.
If they were found cheated,
Oh my gosh. In baseball,
And
the same writers,
Ryan must be feeling good
completely-
tonight, guys. He comes in with, not to mention the money he made betting against the Bucks.
oh, yeah,
Talking about Brady.
yeah.
probably. He probably dropped this 140 billion or million on
Oh.
that. Oh, well.
Everybody's just hateful when it comes to Brady.
I mean, he
Well, he
did
deserved
that
it.
himself, though. Like, he painted that picture. Like, he did everything.
We can call him a cheat. We can call him whatever y'all want. But at the end of the day, you got to give respect to a man that managed to get 7 rings on his finger before he retired. And let me tell you the other thing about Brady. Unlike other
Cheating.
starting quarterbacks in the league, he many times took massive pay cuts to bring in a superstar like Moss, bring in a Dillon, bring in.
We can't prove that. He probably just took straight cash. So it was under the cap. They cheated every aspect of the game.
Ed, are you
He
really
even-
going there?
Oh, definitely. I mean, he was under contract with New England, and he was on a boat negotiating a contract with Miami. Anybody else would have been hugely fined, and they just brushed it under the table because it's Brady.
Yep.
So I don't believe for a second anything came out legal with New England. They always had a huge list of characters on their team. Huge. They had all the veterans. They never had to draft anybody because they would just draft whoever was a free contract. They got them probably because, they just paid them under the table.
And
Millions, I'm
I
sure.
could give a rat's butt about Brady, but I knew if I brought it up, it'd get you going, and I succeeded, man. I'm having a great time with it now.
Yeah.
Well, if they bring Pete Rose needs to be in the Hall of Fame, they need to make that asterisk next to Barry Bonds go away. They need to put all the sluggers into the Hall of Fame that deserve it. You know,
Now you got people worrying about you, Ed.
Hey Brady.
I like what Lefty said.
Oh.
I like what
I
Lefty
would-
said.
Oh, we got a real celebrity in the house now.
Hello, Candy.
Miss Candy's here.
Andy,
Oh no, now we got to behave.
No, not at
Yeah.
all. No.
I wouldn't pee in Tom Brady's ear if his brain was on fire. That's all I'm saying.
Where goes that
Boy.
idea? No behaving here. Sorry, Candy. We're out. Ed's on a tirade about his best friend Brady.
So I like
Well,
what Lefty said. He
His
said
BB.
Lefty said instead of religions and politics, the one subject you can't bring up with what Ed is Tom Brady.
Oh, no, I don't mind as long as I get to point out what a dirtbag he is.
You see what color Guppy's put?
He's not a goat unless you're talking a Judas
I
goat.
would be in his ear regardless. Oh,
Oh my. You guys are terrible.
oh my goodness. What's going on, Chew? Good to see you, brother.
Oh, that's great.
Oh man. So I was wondering, when do you want to kick off our new page or our new network?
Anytime, man.
I was thinking maybe just throwing this out for like an official start, the NFL draft.
But I thought you wanted to do
So-
other sports with it too.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no good sports until then anyway.
I agree.
I mean,
I absolutely agree. There's some hockey, but
yeah, hockey's okay, but it doesn't really matter until June or May
I
until
think
the
we just
Stanley
keep it
Cup
football
is going.
because I have as much fun in talking the off-season stuff as I do about the football.
Yeah.
Where we think people, I mean, that's the exciting to me. Like I'm the one guy that's got Madden, and I fast forward through most of the games just so I can get to the end and do all the off-season. That's my favorite part is all the off-season.
That's my
negotiate-
favorite.
Yeah,
That's
man.
That's what I do. I don't even play the game. I let it auto skip.
Just to
I
get to
love
the,
that
yep,
part.
yeah, the
There's
drafting and.
Yeah,
But
there's
I
this
tell
thing
you, the
called
difference
Football
between
Mobile.
Madden even 5 years ago and now, the computer in this game now is smart. Like it, before you used to be able to like trade for Tom Brady and give him a second round draft pick and whatever.
I wouldn't give a 5th round draft pick for that guy. They would have to give me a 7th round draft pick for me to take him, and then I'd just cut him. No, I'd probably bench him and put him on the practice squad.
So
he
you're
can't
telling
play
me
anywhere.
before Mahomes came along, let's
Yeah.
say KC struck a deal, and let's say you guys got Brady like 8 years ago. You
Uh-huh.
still be hating him?
Oh yes, I'd rather have Cousins.
Oh, wow. Now I know
Yeah.
you're making up now. You're not thinking with a clear head, Ed.
No, I wasn't happy about us getting Vrabel when the Chiefs picked up Vrabel as a free agent linebacker. I wasn't a fan of any of the cheaters from New England coming to my team. We had Tassels, and I thought he was a loser.
What's
He
going
was
on,
the
George?
backup
Aqua
for
Balls,
Brady.
good to see you.
And the guy was a loser. He needed somebody to cheat to have him win. But oh well. That's how it goes. Sorry to all the New England fans out there. It's got to be hard when it's your favorite team that's the cheater team. Except at least you have all those wins, that are bogus that you can look at and say they're awesome because you don't care about anything else. You have no morals.
Oh, we got get your pen ready. Fantastic Freaks. You're supposed to be up here, I believe. But we need to know who you're picking for the Super Bowl. Go. Then Lefty's saying that, damn, Ed really hates my homeland of New England.
You know, I don't hate the land. I like Plymouth Rock. I think Pilgrims are pretty cool. I think that whole Salem witch trials things was a little over the top, but still, it's kind of cool. You know,
Austin, I sent you a link to your Fantastic Freaks Facebook, but I thought I had you somewhere else because I've conversed with you before. Do I have your text, maybe?
Thunder Aquatics. Oh, boy. He's saying, fly, Eagles, fly.
I have two Philly jerseys. I don't hate Philadelphia. I have a Dawkins jersey and a Randall Cunningham jersey. I rooted for Philly in every Super Bowl they were ever in that I was watching. I think they were in like in 1980 when they went against the Raiders, and I would have picked them over the Raiders, but I was too young. I think it was like in 1980. It was somewhere in the late 70s.
Well, they won one with Andy Reid. Or no, Andy never did get one with them, did he? Or did he?
I was with McNabb at quarterback, and they lost. I think.
That's right. I don't think did Andy.
Did they go twice?
I thought Andy got a ring there too. I could have swore he did.
Oh, yeah, he did because Nick Foles won it.
But was Andy their coach then?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. Because he lost the first time when he had McNabb, and then they thought that guy that always gets broken, Carson Wentz, was going to do it, and he was terrible. And then the backup guy who was a youth pastor
did
it.
Foles.
Yeah, Nick Foles ended up winning it. And he had completely retired the year before. He's still in the league.
Trying to see.
He's a backup for
you're trying to figure out what year that was?
Yes. When Nick Foles won the Super Bowl.
And he played for who?
God, that was recent.
Who did he play for?
Philadelphia.
Nick Foles Super Bowl.
I want to say it was like
2018.
There we go. I knew it was soon.
Yeah, it was when they beat New England.
Well, New England went like for freaking 15 years in a row.
Well, they also back
in
dominated
for years.
Peterson was the coach when they won it the last time.
2005.
So Reed never got a ring with Philadelphia.
Well, that's too bad.
In 2005, when Philly went to the Super Bowl, it was against New England, and New England beat them that year.
I think New England beat them almost every year that they lost them.
But, I mean, there should be an asterisk next to all those. So, I mean, really, all those other teams should win. Are considered a tie.
Trying to see how
kind of like this
Philly was in the Super Bowl.
Kind of like when the Bills have a player die and then Cincinnati takes the loss. Kind of like that. They should take all those wins away.
What I'm looking at is this will be the fourth time that Philly's been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Raiders that they took on like in the
1981 they played the Raiders and they lost. It was 27-10.
And then they
I thought it was
once under Reed.
Yeah, they lost.
Peterson's won
2005.
And now Peterson's the coach again to go against the old dog, the old Philly coach, Mr. Reed.
So how many times has Kansas City been to the Super Bowl?
Let's don't bring up Kansas City Super Bowl, okay? I don't want to even
Well,
talk about it.
Their first Super Bowl was January 15th of 67, and they lost to the Packers 35-10.
Then the Minnesota. That's why he doesn't want to bring it up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, Ed.
That's
I
why
just realized that. Well, it's kind of like I was trying to give you a compliment about being a Marine, and then I forgot that there's a Navy guy in the room.
I can't find the one that they played Minnesota.
Who's the Navy guy?
Super Bowl III.
Oh, your dad?
No.
No, this guy. Skipper.
Skipper wasn't Navy, were you? I thought you were Army.
Yeah, I was Air Force.
Air Force.
Oh. Well,
That
then
was-
why are you arguing for Navy?
What? What are you talking about?
Hello, sir.
Why, that is a fine-looking fish tank behind you, sir.
Something wrong with his
It's
shirt.
starting to look like a fish tank, isn't it? Rather than just
You
a
know-
big wooden box.
I want to say I feel really bad for your loss. That really sucks about Chief.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not speaking too much on it, but I mean, yeah, it's rough, especially when the Cross River honestly was still kind of fresh in my mind and such. Yeah, I mean, when you spend $1,200 on a fish, yeah, it hurts when it dies, but
Oof.
I mean, that's just how
Oh.
crazy rare a Cross River puffer is. If you're gonna get a Cross River, you better be prepared to open your wallet. 1,200 is actually kind of on the low end, depending where you go. But
So what happened?
to be fully honest, I'm not 100%. I mean, yeah, the whole power surges during the stream and all that. I mean, that was all after the fact, and it was weird because I mean, I was literally doing like a late night stream before, and of course, traditionally when I do those, I feed all the fish and such. And I mean, Chief was right there. We had him on the stream at the end there. He was doing just fine, and he was kind of delaying eating and such, which was a little weird for him too. And so once we got off the stream, I checked his water, and everything checked out as it should have. And I mean, he still ate his stuff and all that like normal, because in the afternoon, about an hour after I turn the lights on, I give my puppers like some snails and such to keep their teeth down. And then at night, I give them like their more meatier foods like krill or shrimp or sometimes even silver sides or like half clams. And he didn't eat it as quick as he used to, but he still ate it, which was kind of, I mean, it was weird, but it's like, all right, well, he still ate. So I didn't really think much of it other than to test the water. And we got streaming, and he was on his side behind the sponge filter, and that was that. I'm
Man,
not
I'm
all
sorry,
sure,
buddy.
honestly, what did happen. Honestly, I wish I could give an answer.
What sucks is that happens though. Like, and it sucks with the fish that it was, but I mean that happens all the time. You can't figure it out. I
Yeah,
don't like that feeling.
I mean,
Well-
my wife was trying to comfort me with the fact too, saying that, I mean, he was pretty much full grown when we got him. So some people are saying
Oh.
like, look, you have no idea how old that
But
puffer
you
was
don't.
when you got him.
Yeah,
That's
That's
like,
what I was just going to say to you is, you mean, how old was he when you got him? You have no
and
idea.
that's just the thing. I have no idea how old. I mean, there's no way for you to tell that, not just a puffer, but really any
No.
fish. But I mean, at the same time, it's also just like, man, if it was that old though, at the same time, to where it only had a couple years in it, and it was wild caught because it was wild caught.
oh,
And you would
yeah.
kind of sit here and wonder, like, if it was already that old when they caught it, boy, you would have thought that traditionally when they get that old and they're wild caught, they don't usually last too much longer.
Well, I
there's
wouldn't have
anomalies
given you
across
that.
the board, but
I wouldn't have given you that $2 super chat to feed him. Because I just, before it happened, I said, here's $2 to give your chief a treat.
Oh yeah.
didn't you do? I think you did
And then
that on the
he
night
croaked.
before of, right?
Oh, good.
I don't know if that was the day of, but
Hey,
I mean, it was
Maybe
the
it's
final
really-
one, I guess.
it-
I mean, in some ways, it counted.
it was really cool. And I can take responsibility for his last dinner. that's
There you
good.
go. But yeah, I mean,
Doggone.
it's one of those where I a lot of people say don't hold your head on it, but I mean at the same time, I don't know. I personally hold myself to. I mean, you guys tell me if you think when you do like this channel and you start doing like videos that like resemble care guides and such, you hold yourself to that higher standard because, like it or not, when people are watching that, you become an example. And I don't say that to try to sound high on the horse or anything, but it's just the fact when you do a care guide, people like look at it like, okay, clearly this person thinks they know something about it. So when something like that happens, then yeah, it's a real gut punch for sure. It's something that makes you sit back and really think about what you're doing a bit. And as much as these power surges have come back and kicked me in the backside, it's kind of made me sit back and think for a minute, like, yeah, I might need to. Well, I mean, one, I'm kind of taking a break from buying puffers for a little bit because I'm kind of thinking here, like, I think I do need to kind of sit back and reflect on maybe some of the things I'm doing because clearly when something like this happens, the results aren't good and there's only so much you can do about it. But
Well, the thing I was going to say, I mean, you tested your parameters. They were perfect. So, it was nothing you did per se. You gave them the normal diet you've always given them, never an issue. So, from the conclusion I'm drawing, I mean, it could have been natural causes, could have been old age, could have been you got to give yourself some credit. I mean, you did the right things the minute you saw that your fish wasn't acting right, which that's a sign of a real fish keeper because you can look at your fish and say something's not right in that tank just by their behavior. That means you're in front of your tank every day and you did what was needed. You did the parameters test. And again, you fed them the same thing you've been feeding this fish for the whole time. So my conclusion would be it was either something of old age or it could have been something quick and simple. He could have had a prolapse. He could have had something inside that wasn't right. And obviously, if he went that fast, he wasn't in pain. It just was fast done. So
Yeah.
I mean, those wild caught ones, they
puff up?
sometimes are known to have like internal like parasites and such, and sometimes it takes them down quickly. Sometimes it takes a while. I mean, I wondered if maybe that was sort of the thing, but usually if the wild parasites take them down, they're not.
Your fish was
so
entirely way
very, very
too fat,
skinny.
dude. I've seen your puffers. None of them were skinny like parasite-ridden puffer. I had to deal with that with Chaka. We had to deworm him a couple times now. I mean, the worms are pretty vicious in these puffers.
They really are, which is kind of why I wasn't thinking too highly on that, but at the same, like, well,
I seen your puffers. There's no way, Austin. I promise you, it was an internal parasite.
I'm also not overly knowledgeable on the parasite parts, hence why
yours were too big and happy and fat. I mean, you don't see a fat puffer with parasites.
I think it was natural.
I think it was either something probably heart, breathing, something of that nature, which if it was something that wasn't old age.
Right. I mean, sometimes though with those ambush puffers though, it's difficult because I mean, yeah, a Fahaka and a Mabu, you expect them to be like chunky or plump, maybe would even be a better word. Those I just said the word ambush puffers, they tend to keep themselves a little more slender because of course when they bury themselves in the sand and such,
right?
If they're too chunky, well then burying themselves in the sand is not, well, it's not too smooth of a process to put it gently for them.
Yeah. I got a lot more sand to move.
But I mean, yeah, I personally don't think it was parasites either, but
well, apparently it's not a good week for anybody. Poor George lost his beta mascarona pair.
He got fried from them.
This isn't to sound morbid, but when your puffers die, do they puff up?
So
mine, when my dragon puffer died,
like they sometimes can puff up, but he did not.
Well, that's what happened with me.
Yeah, I mean, okay, he did not.
My dragon puffer.
Yep.
When it died, I had no idea it was gonna die because it was every day I would go in there and it would be happy to see me and stuff, and I'd feed it. And one day I walk in there and he's sideways and puffed up in the side of the tank, like is the size of a Nerf ball.
Oh,
I mean,
that
it was
sounds like
already
he-
a big.
Yeah.
It was a dragon puffer that was this big already, but
Oh,
then
yeah.
she like swelled up. Gross.
makes you wonder if light in the room or something just kind of freaked her out. She puffed a little bit, and
There are some puffers that just don't like light.
Oh.
They'll tolerate a little
I
bit,
would-
but like my Powabye puffer, there's a reason why I'm kind of thinking I need to
but
rescape
in
his tank
Ed's
because
fish room,
he doesn't like light.
like most of his fish room, it wouldn't be really affected by light. I mean, he's got it kind of its own entity in the middle of the basement area. So I mean, it's got its own wall. So I don't think light's really an issue with that, is it, Ed? That particular room?
No, it's completely enclosed. Did you see my puffer? I think my puffer was there when you came to visit, because I had her for a little over a year, I think. But she was full grown when I got her. So Dan said it was the biggest puffer he had ever gotten.
I just remember he had a tinfoil barb that was probably like that. It was swam. It looked like a little,
giant thing.
looked like a big old tank swimming through the thing, man. If I would have had the means and I didn't have so far to go, I was like, Ed, I might know a place where that fish could go.
I see.
That's one.
people-
Fish,
Sorry, go ahead.
that's one fish I haven't. I had them in Hawaii and I had them in Illinois. I haven't kept them the whole time in Oregon because of their size. But now I got this 300 with some Bricons in it. That would probably be a good tank to have another dither in, man.
And
Yeah.
at least 3, because they love to stay together. You know, I had 3 and they were always stuck together. And
Except
one was blind. One was blind. And they
Danny,
kept the blind one in between them.
Danny hates those fish and she hates these Bricons. So I
Those
don't want to
Bricons
really, I don't
cool.
really want to salt the wound, you know.
Listen, these
Well-
Bricons, they're pretty neat fish.
The problem with those tinfoils is they jump.
Yes.
And
So the
it broke
Bricons.
the one broke its
Yeah.
back, hitting the
Remember-
glass top.
Whenever we was bagging those Bricons up to take them to the Oktoberfest, one jumped out of the tank and ended up in the axolotl tank, right below it. That was crazy.
Yeah, we thought it was dead. We couldn't find it. I was mad, man. I was looking for it.
And then Danny found it, and I was like, "What? You couldn't see because the moss and stuff. It was funny."
And I ended up having to get them all anyway.
I saw P&W there earlier saying that they lost their Fahaka, and P&W, my heart breaks for you too. I mean,
Yeah, he
I mean,
just
don't get me
recently
wrong.
lost. He just
Yeah, I'm
recently
very-
lost her too. It's probably not even been a month yet for him.
I mean, I will say this. I mean, losing Chief is hard. Losing my Dragon Puffer I think that's about a year and a half ago at this point, was hard. Losing the Crossover was hard. I don't even want to think though the strike that I'm going to feel when Finley goes. I mean, the strike that's going to come with that. I mean, it crossed my head like maybe once or twice because I'm trying to
How
remember
old
the
is
guy.
Finley?
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, and her I got when she was like a wee little baby. Like she wasn't even an inch big when I got her, and it's hard to believe that already next month is going to mark 3 years since I've had her, and it's crazy that now I've seen this little puffer that I wasn't even an inch when I got her is now a 14-inch beauty now and such. 2, I mean, gone from a 29-gallon tank to grow out to now 150. And now I'm thinking that once this is all set up, I want to start planning to build her a plywood tank as well. Because not many fish can make a 150 fat boy look small there. But when you get a fish that grows over a foot long, you kind of sit here and be like, damn, that's a big fish. But I mean, P&W, I feel for you because I pray to God that I don't have to feel that for a long, long time yet. Because I can tell you now, when that day comes, it's gonna be a pretty dark day down here.
Yeah.
But hopefully that's not for a long time because supposedly Fahakas can live up to 10 years. If not, sometimes if you really, really pamper them, they can sometimes even get closer to 15. But usually, if you get them to live 10 or past it, you've done pretty good.
So how big does a Fahaka get?
And tanks, supposedly, they can get about 18 inches, but females supposedly can get a little bit bigger than the males because, of course, the females lay the eggs and all that. Hence, they have a little more
Yeah,
internals, we'll say.
yeah.
Because, of course, they have that organ to create and lay the eggs, of course. So I've learned that females do get a little bit bigger than males. They'll sometimes get like an inch or two on them. But supposedly, some people say that if they're lucky enough to get them closer to the 15-year range, they can sometimes reach more around the 20-inch. I mean,
Wow.
they get big. They get very
So,
big.
If you had an empty 55-gallon tank sitting around and already have a stand for it and everything, what puffer would you put in that? That would be its home tank.
Well, I could honestly probably give you 5 there, honestly. But, I mean, obviously, well, if it's somebody's first ever puffer, my number one suggestion will always be pea puffers because it's one of those where you still learn about the importance of their water quality and such. However, the cool thing about pea puffers, unlike a lot of other puffers out there, is you don't have to worry about the teeth. The teeth are like you do with pretty much every other puffer out there. It's not important with them. Their teeth don't grow that fast. Why are they the anomaly of all the other puffers? I don't know. That's just how it is. But
Then the other thing about pea puffers, man, they are so engaging and interactive
Yes.
with you.
They are.
They remind me of little baby cichlids. I mean, they come up and they're checking you out. Are you going to feed me, dude? Or are we just looking at each other, you know? And once they figure out you got nothing for them, they're gone again. I mean, you could tell they're analyzing you a lot more than you're analyzing them. And you're thinking, man, I'm glad you aren't my size because you probably take a chunk out of me. Really.
oh yeah, I mean pea puffers. I mean you pretty much hit the head on the nail.
And they're fearless. I don't think they fear anything. They really don't.
They act like they're as big as a bamboo puffer when they don't realize that they're about as big or even smaller than our fingernails.
One bite and they're gone. I mean,
but I mean, my only complaint about a pea puffer though at the same time is that, yeah, small fish and unfortunately smaller lifespan. Typically, they live about 4 to 5 years, which is about how long mine lasted. I kept some for about a few years before I even started a channel, and I think my last one went out at about 4.5 years old, which is it's not bad because I mean they can live up to 5 or so, but that's the downside. They don't always live the longest. But,
well, not to mention, I mean, you get normally 4 to 5 of them in a tank. Sooner or later, one of them's not going to like the other. I mean, they're pretty vicious to each other when they're not nice about it when they don't like somebody in their territory. I mean, it's ugly.
But to answer the rest of your question, Skipper, I mean, otherwise, red eye puffers would be another good one. Amazon puffers would be good in there. And if you're willing to take up a brackish challenge, honestly, I'd say figure 8 puffers could be another great one. I mean, otherwise, if you just want an individual puffer, I would say you could probably do a dragon in a 55. You could probably do an arrowhead in a 55 too. I mean, there's a lot of options you can do there. I mean, especially the ambush puffer, because the ambush puffers don't always, they don't traditionally move a whole lot. They just kind of want to find a couple places to hide. And then when they get tired of one spot, they'll move over to another one, burrow themselves under again, chill there for a while. And those ambush puffers, they don't do a whole lot of swimming like what your Amazons or figure 8s would.
Because I have a 55 empty down in the basement, and I've been thinking about a puffer for a long time. But
the only thing that's got me curious, though, and it's a shame this happened now because I know what the plan was for this beauty behind you. Now, is that still going to be the plan for this, or are you going to just take a break from the puffers?
Oh, no. The Maboo is still going to go in this.
Oh, good. Okay.
He's in a 40 breeder, and I mean, he's doing well as of right now. But I mean, I just did a water change on his tank here today because I mean,
Oh man, dude,
the-
he is going to become a behemoth in that tank behind
oh
you.
yeah, I mean, it's getting really close to time that where it's like, yeah, we got to get this thing going because I mean, just the protein levels in there. I'm almost having to change his water like once a week and such. And I mean, I got two 75-gallon grades hanging on the backs on there. I got a 120-gallon grade sponge filter on there. So I mean, I'm filtering the hell out of this thing, and just the protein levels there just keep going off where I got to do like a 50% water change almost once every week, or the nitrates just go off the charts. And obviously, that's a bad deal for puffers because, well, yeah, they don't have scales to protect themselves like what angels or some tetras so say would. But no, that's still for the Mabu puffer. That's still the plan.
Oh, nice.
I'm just not buying any new ones for a little while. Well, if I do, I might get a little school of pea puffers because I got a friend resealing a 75-gallon hex aquarium for me. Yes, I did say 75 hex. God bless his soul. But I'm thinking that 75 hex would be a pretty kick butt pea puffer colony tank.
Oh my, yeah. Imagine the amount. Oh man.
Well, dude, there wouldn't be a bad angle.
No.
The hex tank, there's always, yeah, and the pea puffers will love it because they could just sit and do this all day.
Yeah,
And-
I know that column tanks get such a bad rap, but it's as I don't think they're bad aquariums. Hence why I made a video about fish ideas for them.
They're good to look at. It's just
Yeah.
knowing what they are. I've had I bet you everybody in this chat has had a hex, and the one experience they've had with it, keeping it from leaking. I mean, mine. That's the biggest. Only thing I had bad. I mean, as far as viewability of your fish, I mean, I don't think there's anything cooler, really. I mean,
Yeah, and I
well,
mean,
maybe a corner tank, which I think you have those too. But
yep,
Corner
I got
tanks.
two corner tanks. I got the Pentagon where Chief was, and then I got the 54 Bowfront where my trio of figure eights are. I'll be honest, not sure if I'm going to hang on to the 50 that Chief was in because honestly, that might be where the 75 hex goes. And honestly, it may not be exactly how I plan to retire the tank exactly, but it's also like I just don't know if I can put anything else in it because I'm always going to look at it and think that was Chief's tank. But
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
like I just don't, and it sucks because a friend built a custom build stand for it too, for me and everything. But yeah, I just
don't get rid of it, man. Don't do something in haste. You know, you just
Well-
keep it around and.
oh yeah, I mean, there's plenty you could still do with it. I mean, it could still be a pretty good Tetra tank. Somebody once said that since it's a vertical one, it's like you could turn it into a saltwater and maybe do like some smaller clownfish or maybe even some seahorses, seahorses would be really cool. But at the same time, I'm like, look, you're talking about a fish here that takes some advanced fish keeping. You're talking to a person that doesn't know jack about the saltwater.
Right.
Or, dude, something to make you laugh every day is you could get a little paludarium kind of looking thing going on. Get a nice tight lid on it and get you some of those little vampire crabs, dude. They'll be sitting there reproducing. You'd have a ball with those. We
Oh, yeah.
love our vampire crabs, dude.
Yep. I love
Oh, they're
vampire
cool.
crabs. The only problem would be is that if they got overpopulated, they'd probably end up being food.
And
Nothing wrong with that. That's part of the life cycle. It's okay.
I mean, that's just, it's like, for example, like blue crayfish. I get self-cloning crays all the dang time because they reproduce like rabbits. But at the same time, I mean, like some people say, like you can do the same thing with blue crays. Like, I mean, yeah, you could. I could take my jewel cichlid that I think is a little choice selective word there. I mean, all I said, it's like I tell you, there's a reason why I highly considered changing her name from Juliet to Amber. I'll let you put two and two together there. But at the same time, it's just a matter of like, yeah, I could feed her to puffers too, but I don't know. With me, there's a line. And if it's a pretty looking fish and such to like a jewel cichlid or blue crayfish, then I'm also kind of like, I mean, yeah, it's a cycle. And I'm pretty sure it happens in the wild, but I don't really want to do it. Because, I mean, these are more ones that you pay for to enjoy rather than use as food, you know?
Well, like for me, if I had, that blue crab that's self-cloning, you get so many of them, you can't get rid of them. If I have a fish that's going to eat it, I'll feed it to them. You know what I mean? That it's just, I don't know. I would do something like that because you bought it once and now you got all these crabs that, or crayfish. Might as well use it for food. It's cheaper than having to go to somewhere else to buy it.
Listen, now we got everybody talking about hex tanks now, man.
Yeah, you do. The price of stuff just ain't getting any cheaper.
No, they're just not. But I mean,
No.
I will say about my hex tank too, because I mean, I definitely agree. My one worry with hex tanks too is that they just spring late. But I mean, the cool thing I kind of like about the 75 hex too, and hence why I took the chance on it, is it's more of one that's wider and such than it is tall. I mean, honestly, my 150, my 240 back there, they're both taller than this tank. And I mean, granted, the 240 is 31 inches tall, which is pretty dang tall. But
now,
I mean,
wouldn't this be interesting? This could turn out to be a situation here.
Yeah.
So Cincinnati Bengals, T. Higgins could find himself on the trading block, or I think he's not even on a trading block this year, guys. I think he could he's free agent at the end of this year.
I think he is.
Yeah, I don't think there's any attachment. So, but could you imagine that bitterness? The Chiefs and the Bengals have started up quite the little rivalry all of a sudden.
Yes.
Could you imagine if Bengals were stubborn and didn't pay the man and he ended up a Chief next year? I could see that kid taking $2 million less just to become a Chief, just to put it back in Cincinnati's face,
I think Ed's muted.
we got him so worked up, he's silent.
Yeah, but think
Ed,
about it,
you're
though.
muted, buddy.
That has happened. Like James Harrison, for an example, with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He went to the Cincinnati Bengals because the Steelers wouldn't give him what he wanted. And whenever they played, Cincinnati whooped their butt. It happens. I've seen it. Like with him, I was like, I don't blame him. Like,
Oh, Ed, I figured out what he's got. He's got his mic all the way up on top of his head.
Oh my god! Every time I tried to ask a question, somebody would talk over me, so I'd stop.
I started watching it. All of a sudden, oh no shit! His mic's tucked underneath the headset on top of his head. No wonder.
I didn't even see the mic for a second, honestly.
I was saying, yeah, I'd take him on a heartbeat. And not only would he take maybe $2 million less to come to us, but he'd also have a chance to win a Super Bowl with us.
I mean, hey, I'm just saying,
He'd want to join
Pat
a winning
Mahomes-
team.
I mean, yeah, Pat Mahomes throwing the Juju Smith-Schuster, T. Higgins, Travis Kelce. Good luck.
And they're going to have
Good
Miami saying, "We'll give you 2 first-round picks to take Hill back off our hands."
And I mean, who knows what the Chiefs are going to get in the draft, too. I mean, this is a
we got
pretty
only
receiver and tight end
10 to
heavy
12
draft, too.
We have 10 to 12 picks, and we're already playing 33% rookies on our team. We drafted so well last year after that Hill trade. He rebuilt our defense.
Oh, yeah.
Every one of our defensive backs after, oh my gosh, I can't think. I can't believe I can't think. Snead. After Snead got hurt, we played all rookie defensive back against Burrows and beat him with the best wide receiver core in the league. And they picked him twice, these rookies. So it's going to be scary. But no, what I wanted to ask about puffer food, do you ever do the Rapashi trick with your puffers?
Rapashi trick.
You can take Rapashi and then put broken shells in it and mix it, and they eat it and they wear their beaks down by eating Rapashi, and it works. I didn't know if you've ever tried that or not.
I personally have not tried it. I have heard about some people that do it. Zach, I can't remember his channel name right now. Not SC Fish Keeping, the other guy. I think it's Crazy Aquarium guy. I think he's done it before, and because he used to have a really big, beautiful Pahaka too. He's got another one now, I want to say, but I want to say he's done it before, but I myself personally have not. My main worry is if you do the smaller shells, like especially if the bigger puffers, like Chief, who was about 6 to 8 inches or so, or Mac when he gets bigger, or Finley, is if you have too small of a shell and they swallow it, I mean, they can pass it, But at the same time, if it
Good
gets
rip.
caught and they're tracked, I mean, that can be it. And that's kind of my main worry about that method. I mean, I'm not against it. I'm just saying you better make sure that the shell pieces too are either big
Chunky.
enough to where they can't just swallow it, or but not small enough but too big to where they're not going to be able to pass it. Because if you get them that territory or that gray area, then that could spell a lot of trouble. Hence why I personally haven't done it. I'd rather just give them live crayfish, live snails and such, and or crabs and such, because one, it keeps their hunting aspect about them, which I don't know. I think not even just with puffers, but like say piranhas or exodon tetras. I think part of giving a predator fish the better quality of life is to still give them the thrill of the hunt every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree.
I mean, like ambush puffers. I mean, that's basically how they get their food all the dang time. Is that I mean, they barrel in the sand, wait for something to get too close, and boom, that's it. It was actually kind of fun. It's actually kind of fun to watch too.
Oh, yeah,
I used to
bet it-
put my ugly mollies in with my puffer. Put my calls, my molly calls, because that dragon puffer could eat them so fast. It was just instantaneous. But now you were talking about pea puffers being the only ones without a beak. Dragon puffers have teeth, though, don't they? Because I never had
All
to worry
puffers have
about a
teeth.
beak.
All puffers have teeth.
Well, but they didn't need to be ground. The dragon
Well,
puffers.
dragon puffers, oh no. I mean, they grow slower than a lot of other puffers do, but if you still don't give them enough crunchy foods and all that, at one point or another, they can still grow to a point where they can give you trouble. I mean, it takes a long time, but it's not impossible.
Now, some puffers also wear their teeth on rocks and stuff too. So maybe mine was
It is
doing
kinda
that
weird, yeah.
because I never did anything crunchy really. Other than the shrimp, they did have shells, but that's not much of anything.
Yeah.
And then the fish, and I would eat the whole fish. So maybe she was just wearing her teeth down on rocks.
Well, the
that's
fish has
possible
a
too. I mean,
backbone.
sometimes those bones can sometimes those bones can grind them down too. Sorry, English is hard for me today.
Cool.
So
I just
saw
want. Sorry, I
Craig's
brought back
catfish.
puffers.
Craig said he got his first batch of gold laser cories raised this
Peplin.
1 centimeter.
Nice. Congrats, man. That is freaking awesome.
Peplin and
Oh, Austin,
I see
we need
got
your
a,
pick.
a hill hater.
Oh yeah. Real quick, Jimmy P, Peplin, if you guys trade 2 first rounds for Rodgers and maybe like a conditional pick with it, I say y'all can take him. I mean, I love Aaron Rodgers. I'm thankful for what the man has done, but at the same time, there also comes a point where you as a team need to sit back and be like, we've done this now for over 15 years now. There also comes a point where you try to keep the.
Here's the ultimate situation for both parties. I think would work amazing. Raiders, go ahead and cough up a number 1. Send Carr to Green Bay. Send Rodgers to Raiders. Done. Both parties happy. Maybe reunites both careers. Onward and forward.
I mean, I just don't see them trade. I could see them maybe asking for a guy like Hunter Renfrow or I guess Darren Waller if they wanted someone. Although honestly, I don't know why they trade or sign a tight end in the free agency either, because I mean that's another position that's just absolutely loaded in this draft. But I don't know. I say yeah, Peplin and Jimmy P. If Jets trade 2 first rounds and maybe a conditional pick for it, or maybe instead of a first round, maybe you give someone like a Hunter Renfrow or a Darren Waller or something, and then a first round and a conditional pick with it, then I'd say, you know what, we could probably deal. But
you know what, dude? A first round pick, send Josh Jacobs over our way. That'd be an all right trade, wouldn't it?
Josh Jacobs would only make sense though if we like let go of A.J. Dillon or Aaron Jones though.
It's a
I mean, Green Bay doesn't really need a running back.
No brainer. It's Dillon. You keep Dillon. You send Jones packing.
I mean, yeah, if you send Jones off because of his salary hit, then yeah. But I mean, that's the thing. Green Bay doesn't really need a running back right now. The problem is Coach LaFleur just doesn't use the damn things. But and I don't know why, because I was thinking after getting rid of Devontae Adams, we would have. But anyway, we're rambling here. I got to get my pick in here before we go too far over time.
Yeah, we better. Oh,
I thought he was trying to
Is
kill
it really
the
10
clock
minutes
so
to
he didn't have
9
to make a
already?
pick.
Yeah, it's
we're
Yeah,
like,
we could,
we're
yeah.
like, oh my god! I hope somebody wasn't streaming tonight. I did. That's what the problem is when I get with you guys, man. We lose track like that.
But I will say, like, tight end wise, honestly, yeah, Darren Waller, maybe, but at the same time, in the draft, Michael Mayer, I tell you what, keep an eye out for that guy. Tight end from Notre Dame. That guy's going to be damn good in the league, I think. Michael Mayer was, he is like, well, he's going to be good. But the pick, I mean, I will say this. The Eagles, I mean, just when I think they're going to slow down, they don't. And that run game, I mean, there's something to be said about that. The Eagles,
Yeah.
they got, I mean, when you got a dual threat quarterback like Jalen Hurts, and then you got Miles Sanders, and I mean, A.J. Brown, so I mean, they can run the ball
That's what the
and
Eagle
throw the
fans
ball.
are doing right now, Ed. They're doing that circle, almost like a buzzer. Dude. Oh,
You just guaranteed that I won this thing by picking Philly.
hold on. I hope somebody screenshots of Ed doing the twerk.
And you notice how we were talking
Slow
about the
mo,
Super Bowl,
baby.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's like, and you'll notice how we're talking about the Super Bowl, whose jersey I got on here too. So the man who won Super Bowl #1, who, I'm sorry, Ed, who was that against?
My boys.
Sorry, I had to tease
Against
you a
my
little bit.
boys.
Okay.
In right here.
That's right, yeah.
This is where it happened, right there. And
But
that's how the
anyway,
name
yes.
of the Super Bowl got named, because Lamar Hunt named it the Super Bowl, and that's why they named the trophy after Lamar Hunt.
Yes, and
Pretty
then
cool.
Vince Lombardi, who was the head coach, won the first Super Bowl, hence why everybody's going after the Lombardi trophy. I had to explain that because I'm not sure if Kenny and the Vikings know what a Lombardi trophy is.
oh my god.
Oh,
Boom.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kenny. I had to have a little fun with you. But anyway, I mean, here's the next thing, though. Oh, Patrick Mahomes loves being the underdog, though. And it's not often that he is. So when he is,
oh, I know.
he comes forth and he plays his arse off. And I mean, both Super Bowls he's played good. People just don't remember his second one because his receivers couldn't catch a cold if you sneezed on them. But at the same time, I mean, it's hard.
He almost ran 200 yards back and forth in that game.
But you know
In
what?
the second
Yeah.
Super Bowl that we lost, we had no offensive linemen, and he scrambled over 200 yards, or just under 200 yards.
But I'm
back
going to
and
say
forth.
something. Hurts has gotten the same disrespect.
Hurts
He
is a
always
good
has been the
quarterback,
guy
too.
nobody
He's
sees as
proved
a
that he's one of the
quarterback.
best in
He's
the league.
this, he's that. He's not a traditional quarterback. Blah, 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 blah. I mean,
But
he's
here's
got
the
something to
thing.
prove. You
Yeah.
know,
Well, the Eagles definitely have the better run game. Like, it's not even close. Eagles have the better run game. But in terms of the passing game, Hurts still has a little bit to take care of yet. And I mean, that's a little. So overall, though, I anticipate a high-scoring game. 70 total points or better between the two teams. But my winner, ladies and gentlemen,
oh,
Oh, I hope he didn't write it on his nipples.
by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Bart Starr. There you go.
oh my God.
My winner, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh,
give me the Chiefs
Woohoo!
by a touchdown.
Oh, man. Well, I'm still
Is it-
kind of guaranteed to win, but now Skipper has a chance to tie you.
B&W saying getting naughty. You don't want to know what's under this. You don't want
I
to know
already
what's under
told you,
this.
I'm going Philly. 31-20 Philly.
Wow.
And Jimmy P saying again, Eagles by 13.
Ooh. Ooh.
People like
And I only went 11, dude. I wasn't that Haiti, man. I only went 11.
Peplin.
I
Let me know,
honestly
Peplin, I
think
did not buy this shirt. A friend actually who lives in Kansas City sent it my way after they won the first Super Bowl. Reason being, So the reason being why I got this shirt, the only player shirt I will wear outside of a Packer, is because after living 4 years in Texas, the one restaurant I miss the most is Whataburger. And before Patrick Mahomes went to Kansas City, the nearest Whataburger was like 6 hours and 15 minutes. I'd have to drive all the way to Northwest Arkansas or Oklahoma City. Thanks to Patrick Mahomes now, I only got to drive 2.5 hours. So I'll wear this with a little bit of pride. I appreciate this man for bringing Whataburger a little closer.
That is cool. And did he just build one, or has he built a couple now in Kansas City?
Yeah, I mean, he's got some all over Missouri. I'm hoping it's like the NFL needs to get an Omaha team here, and then Mahomes needs to come up here and bring a Whataburger to Omaha. Then I'll buy the actual jersey and not just the T-shirt. Well, I mean, get the T-shirt rather.
Oh,
So
man.
was there one in St. Joe now then? For you to be 2.5 hours, is that St. Joseph?
St. Joe, actually, yeah, would be closer because that's about, I want to say, yeah, that's about 45 to just shy of an hour closer. So, I mean, yeah, I want to St. Joe is like only about an hour and a half away.
Ooh.
I think they're going to get one in St. Joe. I don't know if it's open yet, though.
Jimmy P is going at Ed. Take that, Ed, you sword-tailed never sender.
Oh, now PNW, I got to correct you.
Great name.
I will only cheer on the Chiefs when they don't play the Packers. If Ed's Chiefs ever go against my green and gold, then no, it's go Pack go every day, every night, every hour, every minute. And I mean, yeah, I have 14 Packer jerseys and just this. So, I mean, although I did used to have a Tony Gonzalez jersey back in the day, and I wore the heck out of that thing.
You know, I never had any Green Bay jerseys, and it was the same way with Detroit. For some reason, they put way too much rubber in their arm, and it was too tight around my arms. Right there. I don't know why, because I wanted to get a Reggie White jersey real bad.
Ooh. Of all the Packer jerseys, Reggie White is easily on top of my list. Followed by Antonio Freeman, who I'm sure strikes fear and dread in Kenny's heart there. But otherwise, I'd want to get I just forgot the man's name. He's a Hall of Famer.
Brett Favre. Brett Favre?
No, I got Brett Favre. He was my first ever Packer jersey. Defense. I can't remember his name. He was a corner, or was he a safety?
AJ Hawk?
Nope, AJ Hawk was a linebacker, and I have him actually. I got AJ Hawk's Super Bowl jersey. I got like the Super Bowl logo on it and everything.
You have to be talking about the guy that went to the Vikings, man. That's who you're talking about. I know who you're getting at.
Vikings. No,
Vikings
we
got
He's
Jared
been
Allen.
guys
I
for
got Brett
years.
Favre
He was with us. How many years did he end up doing with us? 4 or 5. He was on.
I mean, I had Zadarius Smith, if that's who you're getting to. His Packer
No,
jersey.
Smith. No. This guy would have been
Vontae Adams?
no.
Nope. And to be honest, I never got a Devontae Adams jersey.
I would
And
like
I
a
said,
Shannon
this guy
Sharp.
played defense, and he was like a corner or safety. And I'm going to kick myself in the rear when I remember his name because he's going.
Sterling Sharp.
He is going to be a Hall of
Sterling
Famer
Sharp.
if he isn't already. I want to say he already is.
Sterling Sharp.
Nope, that's a receiver.
No, this
I know,
guy
but he
was
was
a
awesome.
DB. I think free safety is the guy.
I know Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson, who else I want?
Yeah.
And Charles Woodson, Antonio Freeman, and Reggie White are probably the top 3 that I don't have yet that I want to get.
I
The
forgot
3 I
about
want.
Woodson.
I want a Shields jersey, a Kelsey jersey. Oh man, I don't know. Somebody else jersey.
Probably Tony Gonzalez if he ain't got it right. He's arguably one of the better tight ends to ever play the game. I mean, he's top 5 all time for sure.
He walked. He went to Atlanta. I don't want Tony. He's replaced.
Well, man.
Even though I don't blame him because Herman Edwards was our coach and he got rid of everybody good.
I guess if I had to
Leon
choose
Terry
top
would be
3
cool.
Vikings jerseys, I don't.
Oh, Christian Okoye.
Oh, there you go.
I would have to say it would have to be number 1. John Randall was probably one of my favorite Vikings ever. Then I would say followed closely by Jared Allen.
Ooh, yeah.
I love Jared
Chief.
Allen.
Another guy that Herman Edwards got rid of.
Yeah, I love that guy, man.
Yeah,
and
so
then,
did I.
give me some AP. I'm sorry. I love that kid too.
AP,
Absolutely.
I'm with you.
You know, Jared Allen outsacked the Chiefs for 3 years straight. We traded him to Minnesota. He was the only guy on our team that could sack, and then he would outsack our whole team for 3 years in a row. Herman Edwards is the biggest idiot of all time football coaches of all time. The biggest idiot of all time. Great guy. I would take him as a next door neighbor, but I wouldn't let him coach my Pee Wee team. I wouldn't let him coach my daughter's pickle team.
Oh Lord, man.
I wouldn't
I mean,
let
I
him
don't know.
coach.
Josh McDaniels might want a word with you later because I mean that guy. I mean, this dude has had so many talent on so much talent on both of the teams he's coached, and what the hell has he done with it?
Herman Edwards, so he's like Tom Brady. They think he's a god on TV. They're like, hey, coach, he's a great coach, on ESPN. And it's like, why are you guys asking him questions? He only knows how to take playoff teams and destroy them to the worst team in the league. He did
Well, listen, guys, we
twice.
should start to wind this down. It's 9:01 in the evening. So it's, what is it, 12 o'clock your time, Ed?
It's
It's 11:01 my time here.
12:01. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. And PNW Aqua, Mr. Ryan came in with a $2 super sticker saying Charles Woodson is my favorite player of all time.
I miss that man. He's part of the Packers the last time we probably had a respectable defense. And look what that team did when we had a good defense.
GRB says I wore my Starbucks. Oh no! Oh my goodness! He wore it at RFK. Oh man! You are a brave man, GRB.
It's crazy.
He's still talking about it. Wow!
Didn't Charles Woodson? He went to the Raiders, right?
He initially was with the Raiders, and then he signed later on with the Packers. I mean, he's a Raider first, a Packers second.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, okay, I got you.
And then he went back to the Raiders, actually, I want to say, for a couple years afterwards.
I love the banter with this Raiders fan with Ed. He just does it now by super chat. You play to win the game.
Herm Edwards doesn't. He plays to just lose on the guys.
He hasn't played yet. He's never won, so he's not playing. He just watches and messes it up.
That's just
Unless
dirty there, man. He just slides
Maybe
it in
he's
as a
paying
super
the other
chat.
team. I bet you Herman Edwards is betting that the Raiders would win.
Oh, I love it.
I don't know.
We're gonna have to have old Ryan up here a few times next year because it's always a blast when you two young lads get together.
Oh, it's freaking hilarious.
Oh, believe me, there's gonna be times that me and this man will probably be having words before it's over. I'm sure. It's always and now we got this guy up here. It's in his own division with no rivals. How'd that work out?
Generally, whenever that team plays my Chiefs, they lose, though.
Oh,
The Chiefs.
Listen,
No,
we
the
have
Chiefs.
our own rivalry.
Normally, they
okay?
beat the Chiefs, is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
They
Our
have the Chiefs number.
Pittsburgh's rivalry is always with the Bengals and the Ravens. I don't like whenever they play the Ravens, it's bad. Like they want to kill each other. I don't get it. It's been like that for years.
You talking about the Titans?
I think
and
what's
the Ravens?
happened. The Steelers.
I'm sorry, I missed the other team.
It was the Cincinnati Bengals and the Ravens for the Steelers.
Oh,
That's
okay.
their rivalries.
Ravens are just creating all sorts of enemies, honestly. Because I mean, a couple of years ago, you think about it, they and the Titans too had a lot of beef.
I think what it ended up being was they were playing pretty dirty there for a while, and they hurt some select teams' quarterbacks, and ever since that happened, anytime those teams played them, it was always a fight.
That or they're
Yeah.
stepping on each other's logos.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's like that one I can understand. I mean, it's been a hot minute since I've done any of that crap. I mean, you know, where you're on a team, but no, you step on the colors, you're asking for an arse whooping. And believe me, most teams are going to be more than willing to give it to you if you do that crap.
Oh, yeah.
I know if anybody did that with the Packers right now, I can promise you. I mean, you saw what Sauce Gardner did after the Jets won. I mean, Lazard literally came on back of Sauce Gardner and knocked him on the backside of his head. It's like, here's the thing. We'll give you credit. Y'all beat us. But if you're going to mock us, just know we're going to remember that next time.
Oh, yeah.
So when we play you next time, don't get pissed off when we beat you 40 or 50-7 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what you guys are going to miss if you don't, once we drop the new link to our new channel with Ed and I, every Friday night, we're going to keep it the same time. But Ed and I are, along with our colleagues that we are always up here with, all the different entities that make this work, we're going to be doing Friday nights, and it'll probably be starting around the draft time. So I'm sure we'll start a week before the draft because we are going to want to discuss the draft, I'm sure, Jens, correct?
Yeah.
I think we should do shorts doing what every team should pick and make a stupid short on it. And then those teams like Philadelphia is going to say, oh, I wonder who's the Chiefs or not the Chiefs? Who are the Philadelphia's going to draft in the first round? And they search for that. And then our short will pop.
Running
And so
back.
we're going to get all that shortage, and we do shorts for all the team. And if we all make it, we'll grow the channel before we even do the show.
Oh, my goodness, man. Ed.
I mean, hell, I can give you top 5 positions for Green Bay. Edge rusher, safety, tight end, receiver. And then after that, it probably wouldn't kill us to get some more offensive linemen. Or actually, you know what? Not even offensive linemen. I take that back. Defensive linemen.
Vikings, it'd be quarterback.
Oh, and quarterback. Well, lucky for you guys, there's quarterbacks aplenty this draft. Maybe talk with your division rivals since you guys like to do collusion with the NFC North to get all these guys and such. You know, trading with the Lions last year, then getting TJ Hawkinson with them earlier. Maybe it's time to start the deal with the Bears there. Get the number 1 pick and you guys go pick up Bryce Young or something.
No. I would never do a number 1 pick for a QB, man. No way.
No?
With my team, the Chiefs need a right tackle, a defensive end, a right tackle. That's all we need.
So with that, guys, we're going to start heading out. Be looking for us soon. We'll be back on my channel next week. And next week, boys, we'll know 1 week away, so all the injury reports will be in to see if anybody wants to change their pick or if we're going to stick with our pick before we go into Super Bowl Sunday.
That's true. We could do that.
All right, guys. Well, as always, love your fish, of course. We'll see you all next week.
Later.
Peace.
All